Hey everyone, this is Austin Schur here with We Write About Music, and today I am speaking with Dici. He has just released a fantastic new track called Beautiful Collision, and I'm super excited to talk to him all about it. Dici, I want to thank you so much for coming on. How are you doing?
I'm
What's
doing great.
what's
Thank
up?
you for
Surviving a hurricane.
yeah, I'm just living life in the storm. I didn't even know the hurricane was coming 2 days ago. I went
Okay.
outside and I was like, that's
That's
that
hurricane weather, all right.
hurricane season down here now. So,
Damn.
but
Well,
everything's
now
good.
you're safe, you're inside, and I assume staying busy and trying to forget what's
Yeah,
happening on the outside.
definitely.
Amazing. Well, enough about the weather. Let's talk about this song. It is great. I've listened to it probably 10 times already, no joke. It's been the soundtrack to my last week. And I wanted the first thing I'd love to know is what it's about. Like what inspired it? What are the meanings behind it?
Yeah, so Beautiful Collision was like my first time because all my music up until Beautiful Collision I'd done just on my own. So I'd like I had produced the tracks, I had done all the lyrics and everything. This is like the first track of me working with other people and collaborating with people.
Wow. Why is
So
that?
because I kind of I felt like it was kind of time to take it to the next level. And then I feel like one of the ways to take my music to the next level was expanding. And the only way I was going to expand was meeting new people and
Absolutely.
kind of because I was kind of staying in my box, kind of, and
Mhm.
like staying like where I was comfortable. So I met, I went and worked with this guy named, C Rod, Chris Rodriguez. And then he kind of helped me take me out of my comfort zone.
Totally.
And, it definitely like, because Beautiful Collision is like unlike any other song I'd done before. And he kind of really pushed me to because at first when we first wrote the song, I was like, I don't want to do this. Like, I don't want to do the song because it was like so far off what I'm used to.
Sure.
But we
That's
eventually were like,
reasonable.
yeah, and then eventually we recorded, and I was like, you know what, I actually like this. And it
Okay.
ended up being like we did four songs together, and it kind of ended up being the biggest song in my opinion, like the best song out of the four that we did, and the other
Sure.
three aren't released yet. But
Oh, well, that's good to know. More is on the way.
yeah,
Yeah, I completely understand where you're coming from. I think especially as a solo artist, first off, your name is on it. So people are always when they have opinions, the
yeah,
opinions are directed towards you. But also, you are the leader. You're the one in control. You're the one making the decisions at the end of the day.
yeah,
And I understand kind of opening your world and allowing other people to come in and make those ideas for you. Sometimes it's hard to say no. You know what I
mhm,
mean? But obviously, it's worked out. I've really enjoyed this. I think everyone else is going to also.
yeah,
But I mean, not to rant too much, but I also listen to a lot of your other music.
mhm,
And I think at the same time, like, yes, this one is sonically different, but it still has a
mhm,
similar-ish sound, like it has an essence towards it. I think
yeah,
you as an artist, like you know what you want. You had a vision for it, and so
mhm,
you're making it work. And that's all you can really say about it.
yeah. No,
Um,
I'm super happy
yeah,
with
that
it.
was not a question, more a comment. um, one thing I do want to know is so I have a tough time putting like a label on this genre wise because it really does hold a lot of different styles. If you sort of had
Mhm.
to give like the elevator pitch of what you would call this or how you would describe it to someone, what would you say?
So at first, up until like literally a couple months ago, I was kind of calling what I was doing just melodic hip hop, kind of.
Okay.
But then after we did Beautiful Collision, and I just got back from Bogota, Colombia,
Nice.
literally like 5 days ago, and I was doing more music down there. And then after we did Beautiful Collision, and then did like the songs that I just finished down there, we're kind of venturing more into like it's not even like melodic hip hop. It's becoming like we call it like I started calling it hip pop. So it's like hip hop and pop
Yeah, that'll do it.
because I'm starting to I feel like I'm starting to do such a broad range of music,
Yeah.
and I'm really enjoying having a broad range, and because I like listening to all kinds of music, so I feel that's a big
Totally.
inspiration to me and like the type of music I do. And after I broke that first barrier of getting out of my comfort zone, now I'm like so open to everything.
I also think as like an independent artist who's continuing to make a name for themselves,
Yeah.
if you keep making the same type of music, one, you'll never grow, but also you have to sort of cast a wide net for what people might
Yeah.
like. They're going to hear one song and say, "Oh, that covered pop," for example. They're going to hear that and say, "Oh, that's hip hop." Then when you start combining a little bit of everything, you capture these people that are like, "Well, that scratches that itch for exactly what I was looking for."
Yeah.
So that's amazing. Um, And you had just mentioned that you do have more music on the way, and I don't wanna push you in any direction to, like, give the specifics, but will we maybe see more music released by the end of this year, potentially?
It's always tough to release songs, like, during, like, Christmas time
Yeah,
and, like, like, that, like, November to January range just because
agreed.
it's,
People are
not, like
preoccupied.
it's, like, all Christmas songs, but I might just release, like, maybe, like, just, like, a single or 2 singles just, like, to throw out just some music that I'm holding on to just because right now I have almost 10 songs done that are,
Oh,
like,
jeez.
completely ready to go out
Yeah,
that, right now I'm just sitting on, and then also in January, I'm going back down to Colombia, we're gonna do more music, so
nice.
I think by January, I might have, like, 13, 14 songs, like, just sitting.
Ooh, got an album on your hands right there.
So, yeah, so that's, like, when it comes down to in February, like, I'm planning to release, like, an EP or an album on February, just right now, I'm unsure because, it's like, if I were to release this whole project, because a lot of the press will only write about you now if you have a video to your song or if you have
Yeah,
or if you're releasing, like, an EP or an
sure.
album. So it really comes down to if we're gonna get if we get a lot of press on the if we release an album or something, because I don't plan on shooting another music video
Yeah.
for a while. So if we can get a lot of press, then I might release an EP or an album, but it really just playing it by ear right now.
Yeah, man,
Because it
that's
really
what it's
depends how
all
beautiful
about.
Vision is.
Yeah, I don't think people realize that music is also a business at the same
Yeah,
time, and you gotta be strategic about it, but at the same time, you can't take the fun away, you know what I mean?
yeah.
If you're sitting on all this music, it's gotta breathe, it's gotta be out in the world, but
Mhm.
time will tell, no rush. Now, who are, like, some of your inspirations and influences? Like I said, there's a lot of different, styles that come through on this, so I'm really interested to see, like, who do you listen to? Who do you like?
Yeah, so when I first like, around 2 years ago, I started doing music, like, I started, like, writing for the first time in, like, August of last year was when I wrote my first, like, EP,
Yeah,
and back then, I was listening to a lot of, like, straight rap, like, I was listening to people like Denzel Curry,
sure.
like
Oh,
Action
great.
Bronson, a lot of people like that, and then as time progressed, I started listening to, like, more Post Malone
Okay.
type
Yeah.
people, um, Ed Sheeran is what, like, I started listening to, and then recently, I've just been listening to a lot of Kanye and
Timeless
a lot of, like
timeless music.
yeah, literally timeless music, like, the best. But, yeah, so lately I've been listening to a lot of Kanye and then also I still listen to Post Malone. I listen to a lot of pop now, a lot more pop. Like, I also listen to, like, a lot of, bands like Imagine Dragons, One Republic, Coldplay,
Nice.
stuff
So
like that.
you literally listen to everything, and I think it comes through in your music.
Yeah.
Like, that's amazing. Now, okay, so you've been through this process of making music. It's a question that I love to ask, but is there anything that you look forward to the most when it comes to, like, starting out a new song or just really the entire process of making music?
I mean, I just like the best moment is like obviously when you finish it and then like you kind of like listen to this whole thing. But the thing that's like most enjoyable is kind of when, and like it was kind of something that I learned recently because for the past before like 4 months ago, because I wrote beautiful we wrote Beautiful Collision in July, I think so, 2 months ago. But before 2 months ago, my entire songwriting process was just me alone in my room
Yeah.
and just producing the beat. And I did that for like basically 2 years almost, like a year and 6 months or a year and 7 months. And the moment that I got in the studio with other people and we were kind of bouncing ideas off of each other, I was like, this is like so fun. Like it kind of like
Totally.
took like a new level of enjoyment to it because it's
That
not just
makes
like you in
sense.
your own head for hours and hours and
Yeah.
hours.
No, I totally understand. It feels like, not not makes it more legitimate, but you're like, "Oh my," like, "Yeah, these are also artists, like, they're gonna help
Yeah.
me do this thing." That's incredible. Have you played any shows, or is that something that's in the works or possibly
No, yeah,
happening
like
in the
this show on
future?
Thursday is my first show.
Your first
My
show
first live show, yeah.
ever.
Yeah, ever. Cause like the whole thing with COVID and then
Yeah, no, that's amazing.
yeah, so it's like it's exciting. Unfortunately, like the hurricane happened, but
Yeah. So,
hopefully
well,
people show up. If not, like we're recording the whole thing, so definitely like this. The main plan for this show is to like record the whole thing and then hopefully help me get more
sure.
gigs. Because another big issue I ran into was that a lot of like festivals or people won't book you unless you have a video of you performing.
That is true.
So when they say, oh, like when I have like my agent or something reach out to someone and say, listen, we have this artist Dici, he would love to perform at your festival. It's like, oh, can you send us a video of him performing?
Right.
And then it's like, you know,
Well,
so it's hard to get
actually,
that first show, but once you have that first show, it kind of snowballs into other things.
totally.
But
No,
that's
that
that's
that
what's
totally
so
makes
tough.
sense. Well, man, if I don't speak to you before then, I hope it goes amazing. Do you have
Thank
an
you.
idea of what you're gonna do? Or, like, have you crafted a set list or what the
Yeah,
lineup
yeah, so I'm
will
just
look
doing a
like?
30-minute set, I'm doing 9
Oh,
songs,
sick.
and, that's why I was in rehearsal this morning, yesterday, and the day before. I was just doing 3
Nice.
days at rehearsal hall to prepare.
Very cool.
Honestly, I'm pretty comfortable, I'm
Yeah.
cool. So,
Well,
I'm just
man.
excited because just this is the start, and it was like, finally, we got the first gig because it's like
No, I
it's
understand.
especially as an independent, because when you're at a label, like, the label can say, "Listen," like, they have power over the festivals, they say they have all these artists at
Yeah,
the festival, so they listen, like, if you want these artists, take these artists too. And then they get all their smaller artists at these festivals. But as an independent, that's like one of the hardest things is that you need that first gig
absolutely.
to get video of you performing. So
Exactly. Well, you strike me as a very confident person, so there's no doubt in my mind that you're gonna make this work. It's gonna be
thank
awesome once it happens. Um, so we are like basically at the end of September here, which is crazy to
you.
say, and it feels like we're at the end of the year. Do you have an idea of what you'd like to accomplish in the next year? Obviously, hypothetically, we can't guarantee anything, but what are like some lofty goals that you'd like to hit?
I wanna go on tour. Like I wanna open for someone on their tour.
Yeah,
So I kind of like go on the road because I feel like that's the best way to kind of start building your fan base,
absolutely.
hitting the road. And I mean that's my biggest goal for next year is trying to find someone to open for, hopefully.
That's awesome. I mean, that's honestly how it should be. I know touring is so incredibly difficult as an artist right now, no matter how big or small you are. But at the same time, there's no better way to get your name out there and to show people that,
Yeah.
like, hey, like, I am legit as it comes. Listen to my music. Like, we're going
Mhm.
to have a good time here. I hope that works out for you. A year is a long time. So I'm
Yeah.
confident in it. What about like personal goals? Do you have any plans to, better yourself?
Um, to be honest, like, I feel like I'm just, like, so focused on the music
Totally.
right
I
now that it's
understand.
like
It blends into your normal life.
yeah, so it's like everything I do is like, "Okay, how is this gonna, like, help with music? How is this gonna, like how am I gonna get better at music?" Like, every day I always, like, write like, I have a notepad, and every day I always write 2 pages of lyrics no matter what.
Nice.
So that's, like, a habit I've been doing. I guess that's kind of, like, not a goal, but that's, like, something I do, I don't know, I can't really think of a personal goal. I just have, like,
That's
everything I
okay,
do
man.
is for the music.
There doesn't need to be listen, it sounds like I mean, your head is down, you're doing it. If
Yeah.
again, being a musician or art in any capacity is a full-time job. It's not
Mhm,
always what you're doing on a computer or instrumentally. It lives up here, and you always gotta plan the next move. That's what it sounds like you're doing.
mhm,
That's awesome, man. I got a couple more questions for you. I wanna
mhm.
know, what are you listening to? What has been at the top of your playlist or even, like, a local artist that you've been enjoying recently?
Right now I've had, like, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, which is, like,
Oh,
kinda
jeez.
just on repeat,
It's
like
never been off rotation.
yeah, like,
That's
that's, like
awesome.
'cause, like, a big thing with me is, like, I'll find, like I'll switch, like, I guess my playlist, but it's really, like, only, like, 10 songs,
Yeah.
and I'll just, like, listen to those 10 songs on repeat for, like, a week or 2 weeks, and then I'll find a new 10 songs, and then I kinda just keep on rotating.
I love that, man. Fantastic answer, exactly what I was looking for. Well, my last question for you is it's something I like to wrap these things up with. It's basically for the person that is going to discover you from this, and for the
Mhm.
person that's going to listen to your music for the first time, what is an opening message that you'd like to say to them?
That's a tough question. I like to say that, I think that me personally, I really believe in this. I think that me personally, since I don't know if you know, but I grew up in in a lot of different countries. Like I grew up in Italy, Japan, and the US.
Damn,
So
I
I
did
feel
not
like,
know that.
yeah, so then I speak also a lot of languages. I speak Japanese like as good as I speak English. I speak Italian, I speak Spanish. So I feel like this isn't only like a US thing. I feel like this is like if someone were to come to me, I'd say this is a global thing. This is like I'm not talking about being big in the US. I really want to be big in the world.
That's
I
what it's
really
all about. That's the end goal.
yeah.
I love that. Well, Dici, I want to sincerely thank you for taking the time. This has been
I
great.
wanna thank you for having me.
Yeah, man, let me please plug your music for you one more time. The song
Of
is
course.
called Beautiful Collision. We will have links so that people can listen. and share and follow along and do all that fun stuff. But it also sounds like there's a ton more coming at the end of this year and maybe even early next year. Some
Mhm.
tours coming as well. So stay tuned. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope to speak soon.
Thank you.
Take care. Have a great rest of your day, and stay safe. Stay inside until the show. All
I
right.
will.
Later, man.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Later.